Hi, I'm Zili. I want to present our progress on our OOP project. For sprint one, we set that as creating our user story and um, project description. So this is the documentation. We also have some subtasks like setting up um, candidate field, employer table, and job posting. Just the general project structure. So our coding actually start on the second sprint. We start with creating account creation. So this is what I have built until now. I can try it. We are doing this account creation for signing in. So as I don't have an account with this email yet, an account activation email will be sent to my email. This is a local hosted email, and I can get the email here, and this is the link to activate my account. So it will automatically route me to onboarding. So I have implemented some job seeking job seeking uh, forms. So here is the form. I can put in my name, and when I click enter, it will autofocus to the next one. There's some filtering available. All of this is front end, so not really related. And this is using the open map API. It will automatically set the country code for the phone number. So this is basically what we have built. From the coding point of view, this is the how the email validation was implemented. First we have a user, and it's basically a schema for a table. We have Lombok for getter and getting a setting field. So for this class we have an ID, a email, a password, and then we implement user detail from the Spring Framework security module. So these are the this is the field from the class sorry from the interface that we implement here. So all of this is implementing the interface. This is the local custom field that check if the user has a candidate profile, employer profile, and the last active role to check if they have two, and a candidate account and an employer account, which one to log in to. I also have another class that is the verification token. It basically is a token to save a user session. So to it has a ID, a token type, which is a enum. There's one type for sign up and another for password reset, and it will be linked to the user. One user can have many verification token. And then we have the user repo, which implements the JPA repository. This is just to check if an email exists in the repo, and this find a user by using their email. We have another repo for the verification token, and we can find verification token using token. This is how the Hibernate is the repo and JPA and the database is set up. We are using a local H2 database, and the mode is set to create, which means it won't save data from the last session. When the microservice restarts, everything is reset. After that, we have the email service. It has a Java mail sender and a verification token repo as the as a variable. This function sends the activation email. It first created a token by passing in the user, and then it sets up the link for the activation email, for the user to activate the account, and then it's embedded into this email. This is basically an HTML button, and then this is passed into the send HTML email function. This is the recipient email, this is the subject, and this is the content. We can have a look at this function, which is down here. It takes in the parameter and then try to send the email using this MIME sender. This is a library provided by JavaMail, also under the Spring framework. So it will send the email and then catch if there's an exception. The user service has a create or login or create pending user, which is used in sign in later. It check if the user is in the user repo, which is the database, or else it will return null. If it returns null, we will create the pending user, which is down here. It takes in the email and string, create a new user object, set the email, set the password, and then set verification as false, which means it's not verified yet, and then save it into the user database. The email service just now will send the activation email and then return. If the user is not now, we will continue down here. We will verify the password using this password encoder. Because we save the password as encoded form, I'll show the encoder library later, so that we don't save the role password and have security issues. So it match the password with user dot get password with the which we save in the database. If it doesn't match, we will throw a new exception which says incorrect password. And then down here, if the user is verified, if the user is not verified yet, we will also throw an exception. The exception is handled globally here in here. So it will check if the account is not activated yet. It will call the function it will call the email function to send activation email, and then return the HTTP status to front end. So we continue here. Now that we know the password is correct, we authenticate using the Authenticate manager, which is also a library. And then we will return the generated token. This is the password reset email if it's needed, and the reset password function down here. It will take a token, and then go into the repo, filter the report to find the token that's type of password reset, and then get the expired date, check if it's after now, um and then it will map the user, and then reset the password here, and then save it to the repo. In the token repo, it will delete the token. This is a DTO, which means data something object, I think. Data transfer object. It's used for transferring data from the front end to back end. this is the controller. um we have the address of /API/authenticate. um it's a controller, and then it uses this annotation that will automatically set up the constructor, so we don't need to uh make the constructor ourselves. For every field that's private and final, it will automatically construct. So the first mapping is the sign in, which was here. um we will get the DTO from the front end, and then take the request user um and then pass it to the login or create pending user function in the user service just now, which will return a token. If um if it a token doesn't exist yet, we will send an account activation email. If the user has a token, we will find the user in the uh, repo by using the email, and then we will return the token to front end, and the three boolean value as well. This is used for routing. The next one is activate. When we send the activation email just now, it's /activate, and then there's a token. So I'm using a optional object, so it can be empty. This is for error handling. So for because the database is being reset, so if for any reason um the verification token suddenly doesn't exist in the database, it will return the bad request hash error here. So after checking if it exists, we will get the token, and then check if it's expired, and handle it if it's expired, and then get the user from the verification token. This is another error checking to check if user is null, which normally it shouldn't. And then set the user verified state to true because the account is activated. Save the user into the user database, and then generate another JWT token, which will be used for auto sign in at the front end. And here we send the HTTP to front end. This post mapping is used to handle forgot password. The user service has a password reset function just now. So we'll just get the email from the front end, send it in here, and then after running through the password reset, saving it into the user database, we will respond to the front end with OK status. Oh wait, this only initiate the password reset. So it only send the reset link to the email, and then this one the one down here actually handles the password reset. It will run the function from the user service that we wrote down here. Get the token, get the password, and then this should be setting. Yeah, it sets the password here, save it into the repo, and delete the token. This function is just used for routing. Basically, we want to pass these three flag to the front end to do routing. This config file actually does the JWT token generation. This is the value of a secret key, which is stated down here in the application property. So the secret string is used in the as the key for the encoder or decoder, and then it's used for generating token. So this is the JWT token builder. It will get the email, get signing key, which is the key up here, which use the secret key. And this one is used to extract the email from the JWT token. This is the security config file. This is the password encoder that we used. It's using this bcrypt password encoder. This is to block to give permission to front end, so it can request get post uh, that that's the allowed methods. And down here is to allow the front allow this all these um address to be accessible. And that's the Authenticate manager. So that's basically the back end for the program. For the front end, it's basically uh, React. It's there's some components, some models. It's not important. So for AI, I'm using this anti-gravity. Is used to ask questions, and it can look into all the files from front end to back end, and it will recommend solution. I also ask question to ChatGPT, like asking it to explain code, asking it to debug, and advice on solution. I have documented some of the queries here, but some of the queries are lost. So that's basically the report for the first sprint. Thank you for following.